And how is everybody doing on this fine Halloween day? I'm having an awesome day. I got a fabulous workout in earlier with a few people on the app. And then Crystal just taught a Halloween-themed Tabata that was very funny to watch from the inside. She does a great fucking job. Killed it, hard Tabata class, but at the same time, every song of Tabata was like a Halloween-themed song, and she had exercises themed for every single one. My wife's just a fucking genius. I can't even begin to express how lucky I am to be married to that woman. It's just amazing, amazing. But for any of you that want to join the app, let me get that for you here. Here we go. Here's how you can either join, or you can either join by getting a 30-minute consultation by either my wife or myself. Crystal could give you your consultation, but you can also just join for live and pre-recorded classes. That's outstanding and good to go there. Or you can get a 3-month coaching package. If you're having a hard time building habits, we have daily communication, weekly video conferences. We help you adjust your current lifestyle bit by bit. So your current lifestyle, we just adjust it a little bit, get you used to it, make sure you're feeling good, satiated, satisfied, not craving foods, adjust it a little bit more. And we just continue on from there so you build a healthy lifestyle. This young lady right here, her name is Confident, Fearless, Worthy. Danielle Amanda. She calls herself a fat babe. She's 33. She looks older than 33. She's a she, her, because pronouns are important when you clearly are a fucking female. And she has a backup and all sorts of stupid shit. We're going to discuss her crazy video today after I talk to everybody, but she is one of these people that says you can be 350 pounds and healthy. It's really no different than just being lean and thin. Like, we're actually the ones that are unhealthy, likely. She seems to have herself convinced that being fat is not unhealthy, even though she's good 350, 400 pounder. Like, you can visibly watch her when she walks. You can visibly see she's encumbered. Like, you can see, like, she doesn't walk normally. She does, like, she can't, like, she kind of wobble walks, super fucking sad, super delusional. I feel super bad for her at the same time. I think she's a fucking idiot. Just saying. Let's go here. I'm going to say hi to everybody. Awkward 20-something. Tomorrow is my birthday. Are you still going to be in your 20-somethings? Tigger, how are you? Froggy, what's going on? Slastukin, Raquel, how are you? Don Aaron, hi, Ellen. I just did Crystal's Halloween Tabata workout, and it was badass. That's awesome. Thank you for joining. Dory Speaks, Tigger, Jones, Cookies, Alyssa, Mariah, Annie, Chris in real life, Manga, Emo Runner. I like it. Hannah, how are you doing? Jamie, what's going on? Sabrina, ID, BD, Betty Wings, Elaine, Shy, Julie, how's everybody doing? Goblin Mode, Kimberly, Not That Anna, Ren, everybody's here. How the fuck is everybody doing? Sammy Grace, Kashina, what's happening? So, and one more time, here again, for those of you that missed it, here's how you can get 30-minute consultation. Join our app. Which you can join us for our workouts and or get some coaching. But we're going to get straight to it. This woman's video is about 10 minutes long, and 10-minute long videos with me stopping them all the time and ranting seem to take about 30 or 45 minutes. And I want to be able to talk to you guys, do some Q&A about this stupid fucking idiot. I'm sorry. She's a fucking stupid idiot. Like, anybody, if you're 350, if you waddle, shut the fuck up about health. If you waddle, if you have eaten yourself to the point where you waddle, shut the fuck up about health. I have nothing for you, especially if you're like being 350 fucking pounds as a woman. You've made some bad life choices. Maybe you shouldn't be telling people that they're good. Fucking crazy. Here we go.
So we know that this commenter doesn't like to listen to full videos to get.
So by this commenter, the commenter is, but I don't smoke cigarettes because that's a choice. I can make that can help reduce my chance of a bad outcome. Doesn't mean I'm immune to lung cancer, because her point is, and she says this in multiple other videos, is that thin people get sick too, but the reality of it is just not nearly at the same propensity, statistically speaking, as fucking humongous people like yourself, young lady. And I get to call you young lady, even though you look like you're in your fucking 40s and you're in your 30s. I'm still older than you, which the sad thing is I am almost 2 decades older than this woman, and I'm probably going to outlive her by like 2 decades. The reality exists. Get there faster.
Information, but I'm hoping that some will, because we need to talk about why the comparison between smoking and being fat is not an equivalent comparison.
Well, I agree, because being fat is actually worse for you. Just saying. Being fat is actually worse for you because it has been shown to even be driving more cancer than smoking. Like, there are 13 different types of cancer that are more prevalent in people with obesity than smoking cigarettes. Reality exists. The only one is lung. Lung cancer, of course, is going to be a smoker's thing. And frankly, you shouldn't smoke. If you smoke yourself to illness, you're a fucking problem too. Like, you're a disproportionate burden upon society because of your unhealthy fucking choices. What this woman doesn't want to accept is she is a disproportionate burden upon society due to her unhealthy choices. Whether she's on any medications or not, she's 350 fucking pounds. She just takes up more fuel. She uses more resources. If she were to need rescuing, like an EMT, they'd need to bring a fucking like truck of EMTs. You know, like reality exists. We just don't want to possibly check that for some reason.
And this might be a long one, so buckle up, kiddos. We're in for a ride. So
let's go down the fucking unicorn rainbow fucking bullshit you're about to say.
Whenever we talk about risks of being fat, a lot of times smoking is brought into the conversation.
And I don't understand that either, because again, there are, smoking doesn't destroy your knees, doesn't destroy your lower back. I mean, it can lead to some decalcification of your bones and mineral dissipation in them. But, it's bad for your heart. It's bad for your lungs, obviously. But obesity is far, far, far worse, because it's bad for your heart, your lungs, your liver, your kidneys. It's bad for your skin, bad for your brain. You have brain shrinkage from being obese that you don't have from smoking cigarettes. Nicotine has even been shown to be beneficial, even though it's addictive in many, many cases. Sugar is not. And this doesn't even go along the lines with it. This woman, every time she takes a step, is just absolutely destroying the cartilage in her knees, her hips, her lower back, her feet, at a much higher propensity than if she wasn't super fucking fat as fuck. The cope is pretty bad here already, but let's see what else she has to fucking say. We're only like fucking 29 seconds in out of a like 10-minute video, and I'm already thinking that this woman is a fucking complete ass idiot.
Because we all know that there are risks associated with smoking, and yet still people do it.
Which is stupid as fuck. I gotta be real. If you and this is no shit, even if I puff on a little bit of the THC, I use an evaporator, and I don't do it anymore, but I use like a fucking aerosolizer. That way there's no smoke, it's just the THC. Reality exists. Or gummies, I really don't do that anymore. I haven't in years, I haven't in a while, less than a year, but in a long while.
And people try to equate that with being fat. There are risks to living in a fat body, and yet
you're not living in a fat body. You are not living in a fat body. You made your body fat. You are your body. You made it fat. You gluttoned it daily over a long period of time, selfishly and greedily consuming more resources than what was required. And you stored extra energy because you did not move in nearly the amount of activity level that would be needed to burn off your extra selfish, ridiculously privileged consumption that puts more waste into the environment and causes you to be fat as fuck. You are not living in a large body. You are not, just calling a larger body, you're 350 fucking pounds. You're living in a fucking huge body would be the correct term. But you're not living in a fucking huge body. You're just fucking huge. You are, young lady, you are fucking huge because you eat your way that way.
People are still fat. Seems like an equal comparison, but I assure you that it is not. For one thing, we don't talk about reasons why somebody might smoke.
All bad. Like, none justify, you know?
In these conversations. Same way that we don't talk about the reasons why somebody may be living in a larger body.
You mean might be fat as fuck because they've eaten themselves that way? Because they might have an eating disorder. Just like people have an addiction to nicotine and cigarettes, they can have addiction to food. But that doesn't mean you aren't responsible for dealing with it. It just doesn't. And I know she's going to say some people have, conditions and blah, 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 blah. Not one condition is going to cause you to be 350 pounds, especially as a fucking female. An average height woman, not one condition except you eat too fucking much. Not one physiological condition is going to cause you to be 350 fucking pounds. Energy is not created from nowhere. Matter is not created from nowhere. Like, it's fucking stupid as fuck. You ate your way this big. That's the reason. There might be tons of reasons, including your lower basal metabolic rate, but trust on this. You know what you could do? Eat less and move more. Get your hormones in check. It's not like this woman doesn't go to the doctor every fucking day, probably. You know?
A lot of time. With fat people, it's just...
No, keep taking the cut scenes because, catching your breath in between them.
Oh, well, they don't eat well and they don't exercise, and so that's why they live in a larger body. And that is... No. They can exercise, but if they're not losing weight while they're exercising, they're April Lorning it, basically. They're eating more to make up for the energy that they're burning, and therefore they're not losing weight. They've reached a new, they're eating more calories to justify. If you were eating at, it's not, it's like to pretend that they couldn't lose weight. That's just fucking ridiculous. Categorically and proven to not be true. But
what is categorically and proven not to be true?
About the reasons why somebody may be living in a larger body a lot of time. With fat people, it's just, oh, well, they don't eat well and they don't exercise, and so that's why they live in a larger body. And that is categorically and proven to not be true.
I would love to see her show me where that's proven not to be true. Show me where the laws of thermodynamics are all of a sudden not true. Show me where it's proven not to be true. I mean, that's fucking out. Like, that is like ridiculously fucking stupid. That is ridiculously stupid. Here's the thing. Even if you eat whole foods, healthier foods, because we could just categorize stuff as food-like products and whole foods. That's what we can do. Because the food-like products are not healthy for you because they are not food. They are food-like products. And you don't get to be 350 fucking pounds without eating a lot of food-like products. Because you're probably ingesting somewhere around 4,000 calories a fucking day. So even if you're ingesting 4,000 calories a day of whole foods, that's too fucking much. It's not healthy if it is mass overconsumption. It is not healthy, no matter what it is. It is not healthy. For the reason that you are over consuming and it is causing you to be fucking planet-sized. Like I eat only beef and potatoes. If you eat 5,000 calories of beef and potatoes, that's not healthy. It's not healthy. And I'm sure she may work out, but she clearly eats enough to make up for the energy expenditure. That's unhealthy. Like, you're fat as fuck. Reality exists. You're unhealthy. Period. If for no other reason than your heart is pumping blood to the massive amount of human that you are. Massive amount of human that you are.
But why might somebody want to take up smoking? What do we know smoking does for people? It's a release. It makes them feel good.
It's an unhealthy release. It's fucking, so are drugs.
Right. And why might they need to feel good in this society that is...
Because they're pussies. Just saying.
Incredibly dehumanizing and doesn't serve the people that it claims to, and so many people have a lot of hardships. Why might somebody do...
You are 350 fucking pounds. You do not have hardship. People that are adults that weigh 80 pounds because they can't get food, that's hardship. You are privileged as fuck. You are privileged as fuck. You live in the most, if the American fat person is the most privileged person on the fucking planet. Period. 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 And it's so dehumanizing. I feel pretty human in society because I am human shaped. You know what was dehumanizing? Not being able to fucking tie my shoes without holding my breath when I was fat as fuck. You know what was dehumanizing? Almost having a flight of stairs make me pass out because I was fat as fuck. And when I was fat as fuck, I still had quite a bit of muscle mass on me, and I wasn't nearly as fat as fuck as you are fat as fuck, lady. That's the fucking thing. I bet you it takes her an hour to get upstairs. Not an hour, I'm exaggerating, but it takes a long time for her to get upstairs. She's not running anywhere.
That, right? And it's an addiction.
And here comes the whining and complaining and bitching and my trauma and, life is hard. Let me eat what the fuck I want. Life is hard. Let me fucking glutton myself to a state of societal burden that everybody has to fucking help pay for. Let me glutton myself to the point that if I was in a car accident, that it would take 25 fucking people to come fucking rescue me on a gurney the size of a fucking queen size bed. Like, shut the fuck up. Lose fucking weight. I'm sick of it. If you're trying to lose weight, I'm fucking here for you. Let's share the fucking victories in the fucking comments and let's fucking go with this. I've helped thousands of people lose weight just through my coaching, and tens of thousands, if not 100,000 people are more likely to build better habits and lose weight by the advice I give. So don't act like I don't fucking care. I cannot care about your health more than you care about it and have it work. Like, I can't give a fuck more than you do about your fucking health. Like, you can't just keep making excuses and me all of a sudden, like, have to fucking help you fucking get there. You need to give a fuck. If you give a fuck, I can help coach you to new habits. I can help coach you to do a different lifestyle. I can help you stay on track. I can give you advice that helps you stay satiated and satisfied and without feeling of restrictions. But I can't give more of a fuck than you give a fuck and have it work. You don't give a fuck about your health. You give a fuck about food. You know how I know you give a fuck about food more than you give a fuck about yourself? Because you're already making excuses about why you're going to glutton yourself because life is hard and dehumanizing. It's dehumanizing because you are no longer in human form. You have eaten yourself to fucking deformity. It's dehumanizing for you because you probably have a hard time wiping your own ass. Reality exists. That's dehumanizing all in itself. Life is hard. Buy a fucking helmet. But don't act like you have, you're not. It's so fucked up. If this person were to just say, I'm fat as fuck, I made myself this way, it's unhealthy, I know, but life is hard and this brings me joy, I'd feel bad for you. But instead, you're trying to deny reality to an audience. Fuck you. Fuck you, woman. I mean, not literally, because I'm married and I don't have a fucking crane.
It is something that their body becomes accustomed to having, and so they become addicted to it. That's not an easy thing to get rid of.
No, but we ask them to. We certainly ask them to, just like we ask alcoholics to fucking, help themselves not fucking do it too.
Right? That's not an easy thing to overcome. However, people do it all the time.
But yet here you are, fat as fuck.
And people like to say the same thing about being fat, right? Well, people lose weight all the time. People are fat because they are addicted to food.
Yep.
Which we'll get there, don't worry. What we know about intentional weight loss is that it doesn't work long term for a majority of people.
Bullshit. 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 I call bullshit. I really do. I call bullshit. Like, how it doesn't work long term for the majority of people because people don't actually get fit and make a healthy lifestyle. Weight loss is about a healthy lifestyle. I don't give a fuck if you lose weight right now. Really, I don't. But here's just so you know, confident, fearless, worthy, fucking delusional. We're going to add delusional onto this. So you're confident, fearless, worthy, delusional. Confident, fearless, worthy, delusional. Eat 1,800 calories a day. Go for an hour walk a day. drink about 180 to 200 ounces of water in a day, get 6 to 8 hours of sleep, I'm sure with a CPAP because you're fat as fuck, and try your very, 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 very best never to eat processed carbohydrates, including added sugar, ever again. Eat only whole foods. Do that for a year, get back to me, and you will have lost likely 100 fucking pounds. Just saying, literally 100 fucking pounds, because she's 350. If she walks for an hour a day on 1,800 calories, she's going to be in a 2,250 calorie deficit likely. 2,250 calorie deficit is going to easily put her over 100 pounds in the course of a fucking year. She'll be 250 pounds because it will start slowing down towards the end. And then you tell me that you can't keep that weight off by eating 1,800 calories, which is still, by the way, for a female, a shit ton of fucking calories. Of whole foods, 1,800 calories is a fucking shit ton of calories. Do you know who eats 1,800 calories? Literally, who eats 1,800 calories? Females that are bodybuilding eat 1,800 calories to bulk. It's fucking insane. And as for the people who don't keep it off, 5+ years, 100 pounds, completely gone, lean as fuck. I have tons of people, like I have one of my first clients ever started at 320 pounds as a female. She wanted to lose weight to become a skydiving instructor. She had never skydived before. It was just a dream of hers. She now is not only a skydiving instructor at 150 pounds, but she is she's on a stunt team for skydiving. That was 6 years ago. You can keep it off. You just need to build a healthy lifestyle. And that's not what you want to do because you are clearly addicted to fucking food. And you know how I know you're addicted to food? The mirror should tell you why I know. Because I'm looking at you. You should look at you. And that's how I fucking know.
Right. That has a lot of science and data to back that up. Really?
A lot of science and data to back up that people regain weight. I'm not going to say that they don't. I'm not going to say they don't because they fail. They are failures. You are like, if you've lost weight and you've regained it, you have failed because you failed to build a healthy lifestyle that you can live with. You have failed. If you are addicted to sugar or processed carbohydrates and you go back and you lose all the weight and you go back to eating them, consider it an alcoholic that has gone back to drinking alcohol. You fucking failed. Because that's the truth. That's what it is. I mean, when you eat the way this woman has eaten for as long as she has eaten to get this fucking level of humongousness, you're addicted to ultra processed foods. It's not the steak. It's not the chicken. Okay. It's the fucking pizza. It's the fucking donuts. It's the fucking sugar that makes it so a person is this rotund. Period. Reality exists. Let's get there faster. So you're telling me that you aren't willing to give that up because life is dehumanizing, because you've eaten yourself to deformity. Okay.
Are there some people who are able to sustain a major weight loss after a long period of time? Yes. It's a very small portion of the population, though.
No, it's not. Most people don't even fucking try. They claim they try, they lose like 20 pounds, and then they fucking don't. Most people don't lose a substantial amount of weight when they lose weight. Most people that start at 300 pounds get to about 250, and then they give the fuck up. That's literally what happens. I mean, most people that start at 300 pounds lose about 50 pounds. They feel better. They think they're okay, and they fucking give the fuck up, and they go back to their old fucking ways. Most people do not. Most people I know that lose like 100+ pounds and once they get to like a healthy weight, they're terrified of regaining the weight. Fucking terrified. I'd say it's at least 50-50 of the people that lose actually all the weight and keep it off. She's talking about people that are 350 pounds and they get to 275 pounds and then they re-fucking gain the goddamn weight because they didn't actually lose all the fucking weight because their addiction called them back. I'd love to see her data. I'd love to see her data on it. I really would. I'd love to. Because my daily comment section is full of people that have lost 180 pounds, 150 pounds, 160 pounds, kept it off for fucking years. Full of it. Full of them.
And sometimes weight loss is not healthy, right?
listen.
People who are going through chemotherapy lose weight. Would we consider that healthy weight loss?
It's such a conflation of fucking issues. It's such a conflation of issues. But I will say that if they're 350 pounds and they go through chemo and they lose weight, lose 100 pounds, as long as they're getting their protein in, very likely it's healthier for them. You know why? Because they're fucking absolutely going to do better. Now, if you're 180 pounds and you drop down to 110 pounds, if you're a 180 pound male and you drop down to 110 pounds because of chemo, likely unhealthy. But not all the time either. Not all the time. For a lot of people that are fat as fuck, like you, it increases your risk of cancer a shit ton. So losing weight from chemo at humongously fucking fat reduces your rate of recurrence of cancer by science and shit, you know?
No, we would not. People who have an eating disorder sometimes lose weight. Would we consider that healthy weight loss? No, we would.
It depends on the eating disorder. For you, for binge eating disorder, which you clearly fucking have, it would be absolutely good for you. For my eating disorder, which is binge eating disorder, it was absolutely phenomenal for me. 2 years, 9 months, 14 days, motherfuckers. No binge. Absolutely the healthiest fucking thing I can fucking do. Abso-fucking-lutely. But as a newsflash, nobody your size actually has anorexia. Nobody. None. There is the actually not fully accepted yet atypical anorexia, of which the person all of a sudden starts restricting when they're morbidly obese and they rapidly lose weight and they just happen to still be morbidly obese because they were so fat as fuck. That is only a temporary condition because eventually they will be of normal weight and they'll just either become anorexic and be underweight. Fuck you, Tess Holiday.
Not. So, but again, the other thing that people like to bring up when we're talking about smoking and being fat is that, well, fat people are addicted to food and that's why they are fat. Which again is just categorically untrue, and there's so much research about what actually contributes to somebody's.
That's not actually research. That's Jenny the dietitian trying to sell Ozempic, basically. Just so you know. For real. Now, don't get me wrong, environment, sleep, mental health, of course, diet, medical conditions, all of this stuff. But if you have a medical condition that lowers your basal metabolic rate, eat less, move more. If you have trauma, get your shit fixed and stop making fucking excuses. Shut the fuck up. Lose fucking weight. You are burdening society. I don't give a fuck about your trauma. I'll be the first to say it. So sorry. I feel bad for you. I wish you didn't go through what you went through, but I don't give a fuck. Fix your shit. You're disproportionately burdening society. You are making your problem. You're making your trauma my problem. Fuck you. Fix your shit. That can be seen as super unfeeling. I know. I don't give a fuck. Frankly, it's super unfeeling for you to disproportionately burden society by gluttoning yourself to a state of societal illness, chronic illness, and societal fucking burden that we are all going to have to fucking pay for. That's fucking selfish as fuck. Your trauma is now affecting me. Fuck you. Fix your shit. Life sucks. Buy a helmet. I don't give a fuck. Eat less. Get your shit fixed. I don't give a fuck. I really fucking don't. I don't fucking care. Cooking, skill, and time. If you think that not knowing how to cook is a fucking reason to be fat as fuck, you are one of the laziest pieces of shit alive. And I can't even believe that's fucking on there. Financial resources, beans and rice are cheap as fuck. Stress, oh no, you stressed out. Are you fucking serious? Oh no, suck it the fuck up and fix your shit. I don't give a fuck about your stress. I give a fuck about your societal burden. You want me to give a fuck about your stress? Sign up for coaching and I'll give you stress relief techniques because we do that all the time. But fuck off. If you're going to use it as an excuse to be fat, fuck you. Fuck you. You don't think I got stress? You don't think I have stress? Holy fuck. Are you kidding me? I mean, I get death threats regularly. In 2020, I got death threats daily. You don't think I have fucking stress? Fuck you. The only difference is I don't make my stress a problem for you. I'm not using it as an excuse to become a societal burden. You are now using this as an excuse. Your mental health. Oh, man, my mental health. Shut the fuck up. Go to inpatient therapy if you need to. Fix your fucking shit, but stop burdening society. We cannot afford this anymore. We cannot afford this at all anymore. We cannot afford to literally fucking take care of you motherfuckers because you have your fifis hurt. We cannot. Are you suggesting that obesity is one of the contributing factors to high food prices in the United States? Well, I mean, there is this thing called supply and demand. However, I will argue that that's beside the point. It is definitely one of the leading causes of why we spend so much fucking money on healthcare. And also, just so I understand, it does add way fucking more to, adds way more to the fucking environmental waste and those sorts of things. So if you're looking for where it actually contributes to higher prices, your healthcare premiums, and your taxes, because $1.9 trillion a year of your tax money goes straight to the fucking healthcare industry, and 90% of that is chronic illness and mental illness. It's subsidized. So I don't know where you thought I suggested that, but I was saying that for your financial resources, I was saying that beans and rice are cheap as fuck. I don't know, Michael Hinkle, where you actually heard me say that being obese contributes to higher food prices, but there is the fucking law of supply and demand. So if there's a lot more demand from these fat fucking people, then it's going to affect the supply and the prices will go up. Like if all fat people all of a sudden started, eating 1,800 calories instead of the 4,000 calories they are, there would be a massive surplus for a while. Would there not? Would prices not go down? That's economics. However, that's not what I was talking about. So I would like for your next comment to be, what gave you the idea I was saying that?
Body size. But regardless of that, let's talk.
And again, by the way, that was a dietitian's chart. It's a dietitian. It's not even a fucking psychologist. It's a dietitian's chart. And how many of them have been recently shown to be working for being paid by companies like Ozempic or ultra processed food companies? Oh yeah, a lot. Remember, like a lot.
Talk about food addiction for a second. If you head to my bio, you'll be able to click on something that will bring you to a page where you can look at this article.
Of course, food addiction is a valid and useful concept. This is just like saying, is alcoholism a valid and useful concept? Of course it is, because people are addicted to food. However, I don't give a fuck. Fix your shit.
I believe on my link tree it is called Can You Be Addicted to Food? And the reality of the situation is this is a very nuanced topic, but I'm just going to go over some of these points here. So it turns out there is not a ton of research on food addiction itself. The evidence for its existence in humans is actually rather limited. And
they have new recent, and this is what's funny, they have new recent studies that show probably anywhere from 14% to 20% of the population in the United States is addicted to food.
There are fundamental, theoretical difficulties. The author stated at the outset, it is important to state that we share with many others the view that food addiction is unlikely to be a causal pathway in the majority of people with obesity, which is a highly heterogeneous syndrome.
But yet, the recent data shows that 14% to 20% of the population is addicted to food.
Now, they did look at specifically those who have binge eating disorder in this research. However, as we know, not everyone who has binge eating disorder is fat. They go on to talk.
No, I have binge eating disorder and I was fat. But I have plenty of clients that have binge eating disorder that are of a normal weight. It's still unhealthy. We help them control that. So if you are of a normal weight, like we coach everybody, by the way. But she's, again, just swimming in shit that doesn't matter right now.
About how talking about substance abuse and equating it with food addiction is really complicated and not necessarily valid. I do just want to read this part of this screenshot here. Many obese people show no signs of behaviors and experiences that would be predicted by a food addiction phenomenon. And while a more useful subgroup to study are those with binge eating disorder, it is also true that not everyone with binge eating disorder satisfies criteria for food addiction and vice versa. Clinical markers only take us so far towards identifying food addiction and establishing its relationship with existing clinical constructs and categories of eating disorder. They go on to talk about how a lot of the research on food addiction is actually conflicting. And I just want to highlight this part here as well.
So if she's trying to invalidate the idea of food addiction, why the fuck are you fat as fuck? Because you choose to be? Shut the fuck up. I mean, what the fuck? So you're taking away the concept of food addiction. So you're 350 pounds because what? Like, do people just like whip food at you and it accidentally goes in your mouth? What the fuck? I'm sorry, Jesus.
While this is laudable, given that there is at present insufficient evidence to support the notion of food addiction, it is of some concern that the scientific community has been suggesting that food addiction mandates the modification of public health policy in the same way that nicotine addiction did for smoking.
So again, the most recent studies that have come out absolutely show that there's food addiction. Absolutely show it, 100%. And I would point this out. People are addicted to fucking gambling. There's no ingestion of anything. They're addicted to the dopamine release and everything like that. Saying that people can't get addicted to food is literally full on fucking idiotic. It's something that is literally the fucking thing that drives me crazy, because trying to deny that there is food addiction when certain foods you eat and certain food-like products that you eat have a pleasure response and a dopamine spike from the fucking brain is just so like nonsensical. It is literally ridiculous to even suggest. And I'm also going to argue Exhibit A, a 350 fucking pound woman in complete denial that it's her fault that she's 350 fucking pounds. I rest my case, Your Honor.
I do just want to touch on risk, and I've talked about it a lot on my page before. However, I do just want to highlight two other articles that talk about the risks related to being fat. So the thing is, there are certain things that are correlated with having a larger body, certain diseases, certain outcomes.
Fat body, like that you're fat, you're obese. With obesity, they're correlated with obesity, not with having a larger body, with obesity.
That are correlated with that, right? It's important to say correlated because a cause has not yet been determined for.
Then smoking is only correlated with fucking lung cancer. Radiation is only correlated with fucking brain cancer. You know, I mean, it's fucking insane. Like you're gonna pretend like the ingestion of the massive amount of food that you've gone through in your fucking lifetime, which is likely more than I'll ever ingest in my entire lifetime, even though I spent many fucking years fat as fuck. You're trying to say that doesn't have a deleterious effect. You're trying to say that the massive amount of ultra-processed food that you've clearly ingested that cause inflammatory markers in the body that we know specifically, you're trying to say that inflammation doesn't cause cardiovascular disease, doesn't cause lung disease, doesn't cause type 2 diabetes. You're going to try to say just because it's correlated, I get what you're saying because there's no direct cause. How about this? Here's a direct cause. Being fat's bad for you because your heart can only beat so fucking hard and so many fucking times. Facts. If your heart stays the same size, which it does, it actually works less in people like this because they're choking it out with fat. But if it has 35 to 70% of an ejection fraction, your left ventricle, the ejection fraction is what pushes the blood out of your left ventricle into the body. That's how much goes out to oxygenate your body. So if you have 3 times the size of body you're supposed to have, like this woman over here, your heart would either have to beat 3 times as hard each time and pump out 3 times the amount of blood each time, or it's going to have to beat faster at rest every single fucking time. And the faster your heart beats at rest, the more you're going to wear that motherfucker out. The more chances you're going to have of cardiovascular disease, the more chances you're going to have of congestive heart failure, the more chances you're going to have of stroke, the more chances you're going to have of circulatory disorders and neuropathy of the lower extremities. You being fat as fuck fucks up your circulatory system because you only have a heart size for a body that was way less than this size. And if you want to argue this point with me, young lady, I offer you, because I know you're going to watch this, I offer you to come on my channel and look stupid as fuck. Okay, you can be delusional all you want, but explain to me how your heart was designed to pump blood to this fucking amount of body. Also, show me how your knees and the 1 to 2 millimeters of cartilage in your knees was designed to carry 3 times the fucking human that it was designed to carry. Please explain to me how the 1 to 2 millimeters of cartilage in your knees is going to last an entire lifetime that it normally would if you were, say, I don't know, 250 pounds fucking less or 200 fucking pounds less. I mean, let's be fucking real. We've seen video of this woman walking. In fact, we're definitely going to fucking view this woman walking here in a second. But if I can see you can barely fucking walk, you are not fucking healthy. And it is your fucking fault. Straight the fuck up. If you can barely fucking walk because you are fat as fuck, it is your fault and you are unhealthy. Reality exists.
Some of those things. And a lot of it is based on things like genetics, which isn't something that we can control or have influence over. However, whatever risks are associated.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So if your basal metabolic rate is genetically lower, or you're on a medication that lowers your basal metabolic rate, or you have some sort of disorder like hypothyroidism or PCOS or anything like that lowers your basal metabolic rate. I'm sorry, that sucks for you, but that's not an excuse to be fat. It just means you should take it even more seriously, because losing weight becomes even harder for you because you have a slower basal metabolic rate. Like that, it's not the excuse to be fat as fuck. It's the reason to try to not be fat as fuck. It's the reason to try even harder. But you who have trauma and, oh my God, it's so upsetting and blah, 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 looking for any fucking excuse, I'm sorry, but if you have some sort of genetic disorder that causes you to, in fact, have a slow metabolism, or that you accumulate fat quickly or something like that, try harder. Because being fat as fuck sucks. And this woman's going to talk all this shit, and then we're going to see a video of her walking, and you guys will understand.
With living in a larger body,
being fat as fuck,
they can be mitigated by pursuing healthy behaviors. And
if you were pursuing healthy behaviors while being fat as fuck, you would cease to be fat as fuck after a while. A healthy behavior would be eating in an amount and the quality of foods that would reduce your body size, because you are indeed fat as fuck and you've eaten yourself there. If you are moving your body in a healthy way, you are going to be expending extra calories while being in a caloric deficit, so you will get less fat as fuck. So trying to pretend that you are fat as fuck, and just because you're pursuing healthy habits, like, first of all, you're eating like shit if you're this woman's size. You are not eating healthy. Period. You may eat some healthy shit, but the fucking massive stack of Oreos and the 3 fucking lattes you get in a day are fucking canceling that shit out. But secondly, you are not moving your body that fucking much, or you'd be burning off more fucking calories. And if you are, you probably shouldn't be. You literally probably shouldn't be, because your body's not fucking designed to this. And once again, she's talking all this shit, talking about how it's not bad. We're going to watch her walk here in a second.
There is research to back this up. This article is at the link in my bio, as well as this one, as well as this one. That is why on my page, I advocate for pursuing healthy behaviors in whatever way that looks like for you. Because the research shows that you only have to incorporate a couple of healthy behaviors into your normal routine in order to see benefit in your life. And again, as I have talked about on my page before, pursuing healthy behaviors is not accessible or attainable for everyone.
What? You mean you mean it? Like, I'm sorry, but exercise is attainable for everybody that's not a quadriplegic. Everybody. Moving your body in whatever way you can is absolutely accessible. Walking is free, motherfuckers. Walking is free. Getting up and down out of your chair is not only free, but it's actually something I start a lot of clients doing that are huge. Like, when I have somebody that comes to me 400 plus pounds, we have them get their shit in order, and then we have them stand up and down. Drop these pointless obesity debates. Our main focus should be on the security comprehensive health care for all these hard times. It's like arguing over a grain of sand while the beach awaits. Bitch, listen. We can't talk about accessible health care when we're spending over $3 trillion a year for avoidable lifestyle-driven chronic illnesses. If we want to have accessible health care for everybody, people are going to have to take personal responsibility for their health. Bitch.
And so if people truly care about other people's health, if people truly want to reduce risk for other people of having these diseases, of dying early, there are things you can do to impact the health of your community.
Yes, encourage every fat person you know to eat less bullshit food, eat less food products, eat more whole foods, and go for a fucking walk. That's what you can do. every fat person you know, make sure that they know they should not eat processed foods at all. They've eaten enough of them. They have clearly eaten enough that it's gotten them fat as fuck. They should not eat any more of them for a long motherfucking time, and they should go for a fucking walk. Tell every fat person you know. That's what you should do.
What do you do to donate to food banks in your area?
What? Access to food is clearly not your fucking issue. Access to food is clearly not your fucking issue. Less access to food would help you. Less access to food would actually fucking help you. Access to food is clearly not your fucking problem. Clearly not your fucking problem.
What causes do you donate to on a regular basis that helps people? What do you
I donate my time by saying stop being fat as fuck by taking control of your life.
doing to help the environment and pollution?
Well, a lot more than you, because your gluttony, your overconsumption leads to way more transportation, way more production, way more waste of packaging and all sorts of shit. You are, in fact, impacting the environment at a much higher percentage than I ever fucking would. What the fuck are you doing? The average obese person is responsible for 20% or more carbon footprint, which I don't even necessarily believe in the carbon footprint thing. It makes no sense. We have trees that fucking absorb carbon. Anyway, but they put more waste into the environment and they have a larger carbon footprint because of their fucking consumption. Shut the fuck up. You make no sense. Like, your logic is even broken. Like, nowhere along the line is like, you're like, what are you doing to protect the environment? Way more than you. Way more, just by not being fat as fuck, way more than you. Jesus fucking Christ, how stupid can you fucking be? Oh yeah, that's right. Being fat makes you stupid. It just does. Being fat actually makes you dumb. It reduces gray matter in your brain. It causes cognitive deficiencies. It causes executive function deficiencies of the brain. Self-awareness, self-starting, stick-to-itiveness, logic, reasoning. Example A.
How are you educating yourself and others on stigmas in our society?
I'm saying that there's no fucking such thing as a stigma when it comes to obesity. It's bad for you. People smell when they're fucking 400 pounds. It's bad. They're hard on society. They fucking, they look like they're deformed because they've eaten themselves that way. Reality exists.
Including but not limited to weight stigma, racism, homophobia, xenophobia.
None of those things matter for health. There's no such thing as weight stigma. We're about to watch you walk. Just saying. Racism, I'm sorry, but anybody that fucking pulls this up, she's got to say these things. She's got to do all the isms and phobias, because that way anybody that speaks out against her is those things. Well, speaking as somebody that's the white guy out of my group of partners, like I am partnered with a Jewish person, an Iranian, and a fucking black man. And all of my best interviews have been with transsexuals or gay men. I will say, fuck you. What are you doing to prevent that shit? Because you, in fact, are oppressing society. You are a societal oppressor by your over fucking consumption.
Transphobia.
There's no, oh my God. Say all the phobias, get it all out. Virtue signal as hard as you fucking can. You're still fat as fuck.
Ableism. Because poverty, stigma.
Obesity is not a condition of poverty. Ever. Ever. Obesity is a condition of overconsumption. Because here's the thing. If you can't afford better quality food or have access to better quality food and you are still fat as fuck, eat less of the food that's making you fat as fuck or move your body fucking more. You won't be as fat as fuck. And it will actually help you because you won't be as burdened by society and you won't be nearly as indebted by healthcare expenses and shit like that. If you are poor, the worst thing you could be is fat. That means you're spending more money than you need on food, dumbass. If you consider yourself in poverty and you're fat, why the fuck are you spending that much money on food? Fucking wake the fuck up. Jesus, it's so stupid.
And the environment have more to do with a person's overall
I cannot believe that she's even talking about the environment when she probably has fucking 20 fucking pizza boxes in her fucking garbage right now and about fucking 4 pounds of plastic wrapping from all the fucking bullshit she eats. I can't even fucking believe she's talking about it.
Health than just their own personal responsibility. Here's a chart that I've shown before that explains.
Oh yeah, another RD. Oh, another RD talking about environment and social circumstances and shit that they know nothing about. And by the way, a bunch of RDs have been paid, they've been paid for by the fucking ultra processed food industry recently. Look it up. It's real. Diet and exercise, medical care, genetics and biology, social circumstances, environment, individual behaviors. No. Individual behaviors include diet and exercise. Environment, if you don't like your environment, you fucking change it. Social circumstances, completely within your control and shouldn't matter on how much food you fucking eat at all. And genetics, still your responsibility. It's fucking ridiculous. And medical care, that's everybody has a hard, the fucking healthcare industry sucks. I'm not sure where you're coming from. In this rampant inflation, not prioritizing healthcare for all is like turning a blind eye to a house fire. We're risking the very lifelines of our people. Then tell people to stop being fat as fuck. Tell people to stop over consuming, because then we could possibly afford more coverage of healthcare. But we cannot, because greedily and selfishly and to a very privileged way, $3.1 trillion of the $4.3 trillion a year that America spends on healthcare is from avoidable, lifestyle-driven, chronic illnesses. You tell them, because I'm fucking done. You understand? Like, you tell them. Tell them to stop gluttoning themselves to societal burden, and then maybe we can take care of everybody else. But what the fuck I am actually doing what you want. You just are too fucking stupid, because you're a troll, to understand that shit. You see, I am telling people to stop being fat, therefore they will stop using as much fucking healthcare resources and funds than they need. They are disproportionately burdening society. I'm trying to take away the disproportionate burden so we can focus those funds and resources on taking care of who we have already and other shit. So I am actually doing what you want. You're focusing on all the fee-fees because you a bitch.
That's exactly what I mean. In my research, I also came across this article, which I think is also very telling when it comes to the stigmatization of people who smoke. Tobacco regulation has some major successes, though much work remains to be done. Tobacco...
Oh my God. All right, so this goes on for a long time, but give me a second here. I'm going to find something. One second. Wow, she's gained a lot of fucking weight recently too. Holy fuck. That'll do. Give me a second. All right, here we go. See if that works. Give me one more second, guys. I'm trying to make this so I don't have to switch over. Okay, login successful. Here we go. All right. Okay, bang. Perfect. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so this is her channel. Nobody go give her any problems because clearly she's got enough of them. I mean, besides the fucking being completely fucking insane and the being, well, huge, nobody go give her a hard time. But watch her move. Let me blow this up there a little bit. Watch her move. This woman is preaching about how she's healthy. Waist to height ratio of holy fuck. You can clearly see her waddling. I'm sorry. I tell you what. Let's see. Here's that.
I'd rather be fat than be cruel. I'd rather be fat than be mean.
You'd rather be fat than give a fuck.
I'd rather be fat than tearing down somebody else because of what their
She can't even stand correctly.
body looks like. I'd rather be fat.
Look, watch the legs. Watch the legs.
I'd rather be fat and happy than.
When you have to walk like that, you are not healthy. Not at all. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. All right, I will take questions, comments, those sort of things. Your message is out of touch. Just telling people to shrink themselves won't make it happen. Just like telling smokers to quit that doesn't make it happen. You know what? I actually have a different idea. You're apparently new here because I am all for doing what we do to smokers for obese people. See, smokers, we pretty much demand that they don't smoke around us. We pretty much demand that they change their ways. I think we should pretty much demand it. You know, I've got an idea. If you smoke yourself, drink yourself, or do drugs enough to the point where you have some sort of chronic illness, we should give you 180 days to be covered on healthcare. And then after 180 days, if you can't get off of the medications and need the treatments that you need after we help pay for it all, you pay for it all on your own and see if it was worth it for you. Because the biggest issue is that society is subsidizing these unhealthy habits. So I propose that we stop subsidizing it, that if somebody makes some mistakes in life, even though obesity, eating yourself to chronic illness, takes a long fucking time of bad mistakes. But if you all of a sudden develop type 2 diabetes because you eat sugar every fucking day and Coca-Cola runs through your fucking veins, we should help pay for your medications for about 180 days and suggest you get your shit together because after 180 days, we're not paying for it all and it's going to come all out of your pocket. That's what I suggest. I want people to take personal responsibility for themselves. I don't want them to disproportionately burden society in a very privileged fucking fashion. I think you are extremely out of touch. You probably live in a world with a purple sky, with a rainbow going across it, and a unicorn running across the rainbow, shitting out glitter, thinking that we should just everybody hope and pray and love each other to health. Shut the fuck up, you hoe. Can I stand up? You want to see the shirt? This shirt can be bought on Infinite Elgin Intensity. It's a plus size model. I'm not saying that Awesome Sauce was the model for the shirt, but that looks an awful lot like Awesome Sauce. And Elgin Intensity is a friend of mine. He's known me since she was a baby. So I'm just saying the resemblance is startling, but it says plus size model. Mr. Hinkle, you clearly must be new here. The amount of free advice that Alan has given on his channel is enough to change someone. I've probably helped tens of thousands of people lose weight. It's fucking ridiculous. When people act like that, I just fucking laugh. I just laughed. 180 days to 6 months, exactly. Burden on the tax system when we pay taxes, exactly. Exactly. All right, folks. So you're suggesting we shouldn't cover the medical costs of those who get cancer from excessive meat consumption too? Well, it's been shown that that is not actually a real thing. But if you do something, because in reality, if you get cancer, the idea is stay away from carbohydrates because it feeds cancer and stuff like that. But what you're saying doesn't actually happen. It's not a real thing. And science has shown that. However, if you are more than 180 days out, normally the cancer is gone in 180 days. But, I'm sorry, but I don't see where you're coming from with it. You have to bring up a real thing, like a real thing. Normally people bring up like what happens if you get an illness from your tattoos. I'd have to pay for it out of 100% out of my pocket. I'm down with that. Because my thing is this. We should have much less shared societal burden, because we have less shared societal burden. We have less government. We have less government. We have more freedom. Reality exists. Mike Hinkle's a bitch, by the way. Body shaming, awesome. No, she's just a plus size model. Yeah, Alan doesn't tell people to shrink. He offers advice. Exactly. All right, guys. Any last questions? By the way, here is where I got to redo this. Here's where you can get our coaching. And No Morbidity is currently No Morbidity and Ember are both out of stock at Ambrosia Collective, but we do have some at tigerfitness.com. And you still can get Alchemy at Ambrosia Collective. And by Friday, the Holy Trinity Weight Loss Bundle will be back in stock. Very excited. Yeah, who knows anybody that got cancer from meat? Show me one. It's a stupid fucking thing. Yes, there's scientific evidence linking red meat and processed foods, ultra processed foods, not red meat. I'm sorry, but show me somebody. Show me anybody. Do you think a second wave of oil in the world oil will be occurred due to the humanity eating itself? The second wave of oil? I don't know what you're talking about. What was Ember for again? Ember is a stimulant, appetite suppressant that has African mango in it. I don't suggest it to everybody, but I do think that for a lot of people, once you've started on your journey, a half tablet of Ember first thing in the morning gets you really, really, really going, and then you go really, really well. Then the rest of them take over. People get dropped from insurance for many things that they do that are unhealthy. Exactly. Excess anything consumption is bad for you. Very true. Yeah, there's no actual proof of red meat consumption being linked to cancer. None. Zero. Mike's just fucking talking shit. But anyway, guys, it's Halloween. I'm going to go hang out with the wife. Over an hour. Thank you all very, very, very much. I appreciate you. If anybody needs anything, I will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. And by the way, Mike, you bitch.